All right, YouTube. So, just want to talk real briefly today about setting clear boundaries for your relationships in the licensing world. Now, this is kind of more of a broader philosophical approach that I have for my entire life. So, this is actually something that I apply to my entire life from all of my relationships, family, friends to business ones. But this is definitely something that I've encountered in the licensing industry when clear boundaries are not established. Things are a little bit murky, and it can lead to a lot of problems, actually. So I want to kind of warn you guys about some problems and some obstacles and potentially relationship ending scenarios that could be in your future if you're not careful. And this topic is basically about setting really clear boundaries about your relationships with, let's say, let's just keep it real simple with music libraries. Okay. I've personally worked, and I know other writers that have personally worked with libraries that tried to make it more of like a family or a friend based kind of a business as opposed to strictly just business. And what I mean by that is there's people, and this is not just in the licensing world, in just business in general. It's actually way more common than you realize that people will start businesses to make friends. Like you wouldn't think people would risk finances and time and energy just to try to get more people around them to be, to have a better social life. But it's a one of the more primal human needs is to have a community, to have a circle of people around you. And some people just don't have great social skills, or for whatever reason, they don't have, that sort of like nice close knit group of friends or maybe family around them. And so what they'll do is they'll start this business because they have the skill set, they have the knowledge, they have the resources to do this business. And they'll try to basically start to invite people to work with them, writers, producers, in this scenario with music libraries. And they'll try to make them their friends, right? They'll have a lot of get togethers. Hey, let's go do this. Let's go do that. They'll want to chat on the phone all the time. And so they're basically using their business as their sort of magnet for their social circle, right? For their friendships in life. That, in my book, is very blurry and can get really messy really quickly. Why? So personally, for me, every music library that I've ever worked with and that I currently still work with, I'm friendly with them. I chat on the phone with them. We talk. We sometimes get together when it's convenient. They're in my side of town. I'm on their side of town, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, they're not my friends. These are my business partners. Okay. My friends are people that I get together with, I chat with, I hang out with, that I don't make money with. There's no business going on. We don't have any financial transactions happening. There's not an ongoing regular, I send them music or I send them some service and they send me cash. At the core of our friendship is a friendship. It's just about, me and them and how they're doing in their life and how I'm doing in my life. That is the basis of our friendship. And that's why we stay friends or we stay family members or whatever it is, right? So let's put friends and family kind of in their own category. No finances. There's no business going on. Nobody's making money off of each other. It's just purely about the relationship between the people. In the business world, our relationship is based on us making money off each other. Okay. Might make some of you guys uncomfortable to hear this, but this is reality. This is, the big boys world here. There are people that you will have relationships with that you're only having relationships with them because you continuously help each other, right? In a mutually beneficial way, obviously, but you're both making money off of each other, right? You as the composer send music to a library. You either get paid those consideration fees and or you get sync fees back in royalties. They earn their publishing, maybe sync fees as well. So you are mutually benefiting each other, right? The minute you stop submitting music to them, well, they're not getting anything from you. And so the money kind of dries up. And that's the end of the relationship. Because at the basis of these kind of relationships in the business world, it's about making money with each other. That's what started that relationship. And the minute that core foundation goes away, let's say the library kind of goes to sleep on you, you go to sleep on them, or you're just not getting any placements with them, the whole thing kind of dries up. Are you going to still keep getting on the phone with them every week and hanging out with them and going to barbecues? Like, no, you're not doing that anymore because the foundation of that relationship was based on, are we helping each other in the business sense, right? If that's not happening, it crumbles. And this is where the messiness of relationships, of blending, hey, we do business together, but it's also my friend, or it's my family member, and we also do business together. This is where it gets really messy, because if you're doing business with somebody, but you're putting them kind of in a sort of nebulous, they're kind of a friend too. Well, what happens when the business side dries out, right? And you're not making money off of them anymore, but they're kind of a friend, right? It's really hard to walk away from somebody, even though you probably should for your career, for your strategic positioning as a producer trying to make this your full-time job. That's the situation where you need to, sorry, you're fired, or I'm out of here, or I quit, whatever. You got to make a hard, fast decision if somebody is not helping you progress, right? They're not giving you that mutual benefit to the relationship. But that's where that murkiness can screw you over, because now you have this sort of personal, heartfelt feeling for that person. Oh, I don't want to stop submitting to them, or I feel guilty. Well, I don't want to ruin the friendship by not working with them anymore. You see how this can really actually screw you over in the long haul if you're blending and blurring your relationships. So my personal philosophy is keep things segregated. Okay. Your family, your friends, or family and friends. I know a lot of times that your friends can be just as important as your family, depending on your situation. So, but we'll put those outside of business. Okay. I'm not saying that's better or worse than business relationships, but obviously that is a different kind of an entity. That's a different kind of a relationship that you have. And again, those are not based on you making money off of each other. That's just based on community and a sense of caring about each other, right? And doing favors for each other just because you love each other and you want to support each other, right? And keep your business relationships. You can get sucked into a lot of circles and a lot of things where it's like, well, hey, we want you to come to our barbecue, or come do this, or, we want you to come to this party. Again, I'm not saying you become a recluse and never interact with anybody in a friendly manner. Be friendly, get on the phone with people, talk to people, joke around with people. But underneath all of that, right? Don't start getting confused. That's where the problem can lie for you in the future. To always remember that at the basis of that relationship, you need to keep delivering to them. They need to deliver to you so that you're both making money. The minute that foundation crumbles, you're not going to the barbecues anymore. You're not getting on the phone with them anymore. You're not in the social circle anymore. Okay. So this is just the wisdom that I've personally followed for a big chunk of my life. I've kind of had this sort of philosophy from many, many years ago, and it's actually served me very well, kept me out of trouble, kept me out of problems. But I know people personally who have blended and blurred those lines all over the place to, family and business, friends and business. And you guys know all the horror stories. I'm sure I don't have to even tell you guys that usually destroys one or the other. It destroys the business. And the worst thing is that it could actually destroy a real valuable relationship you have if it's an actual friend or a family member. So that's why those things usually keep them separated, keep them segregated, and you'll just stay out of trouble generally. Again, not just for music licensing. It definitely happens in music licensing, but for life in general. So those are just my thoughts on that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you do hit the like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe. I do appreciate that.